Hi, I'm Patu from freefincal. Today let's talk about equity index fund model portfolios. I list 6 of them. This is just an arbitrary listing, and there are many ways in which you can mix and match funds to create model portfolios, and this is just one arbitrary listing, which is just my opinion. I mean, there are many ways to do it. So the first one is just use a Nifty or a Sensex fund, just one fund. That's it. That will be the simplest of simple choices. Of course, there are many people who want to go beyond that, so we have to respect that as well. Then you can of course combine Nifty Next 50 with a Nifty or a Sensex index fund, and I have talked about this several times in the past. But of course, as many people would now know, Nifty Next 50 can be a very frustrating index to hold. So it has underperformed the Nifty for several years now, for 5-6 years now. So it's a problem that you will face if you have too much of Nifty Next 50 in such a portfolio. So the weights are something that you'll have to be a little careful about. If you say I don't want that kind of a maintenance of weights between Sensex and Nifty Next 50 or Nifty and Nifty Next 50, I would just leave it to a Nifty 100 index fund. That's fine. That's model 3. Model 4 is just buy the BSE low volatility 30 index fund or the Nifty 100 low volatility 30 index fund. It's a little adventurous. It's a factor based fund, so there are some issues there. Low volatility may or may not work all the time, and low volatility does not mean lower drawdown, so it can be a little tricky there. But if you are willing to take a chance and try to beat the Nifty or the Sensex, then that's one way to go. Or you can combine the two. You can combine Nifty or Sensex with the low volatility fund. You can have a factor based index fund that is a low volatility, for example, let's say 20% or 25% of the portfolio. That's possible. If you want to have additional risk but not always additional reward, then you can replace the low volatility with the alpha plus low volatility index fund. That's also a possibility. I mean, those are different ways to play the passive investing game. It's up to you how to do it. I mean, you can't say this is right, this is wrong. I mean, it's difficult. If you want some mid-cap exposure, then you can go for the Nifty mid-cap quality 50 index fund. Combine it 20 to 30% of that combined with a Nifty or Sensex index fund, instead of choosing a Nifty mid-cap 150 index fund. That's tracking 150 stocks is going to be a nightmare. 50 is slightly better, I would say. But the quality factor may not always work. In fact, quality has underperformed the mid-cap index for last year or so. So when there are no opportunities in the market, then it's going to be a big problem. These factor-based funds can suffer. So there are many other ways to mix and match, but this is what I would do. I would recommend the following. Don't buy mid-cap 150 index funds or small cap 250 index funds. Don't buy any kind of ETFs. Stick to simple factors. The simplest factor is low volatility. I like that. Compared to that, alpha is relatively the next simplest. Quality is slightly arbitrary. Low volatility. Let me just say that again in case I messed that up. I'm not sure if I did. Low volatility is the simplest factor to understand. Alpha is the next simplest. And slightly well defined, just like low volatility is. Alpha is also well defined. Quality is not so well defined, so you will have to be careful going beyond that. Don't buy factors involving value, because value is additional risk. So there are many ways to do it. You can mix and match in so many ways. This is just 6 of them.